She thought a laminated HOA notice gave her the right to turn my private driveway into a school bus stop. No permission, no warning, just orange cones on my land. So I let her keep her bus stop for exactly 11 days. Then I closed the gate, and the whole neighborhood found out why. And if you haven't subscribed to HOA Breakpoints yet, now's the perfect time. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because you definitely don't want to miss the next story. Trust me, it gets even crazier from here. My name's Daniel, and for 6 years I lived at the end of a quiet cul-de-sac in a neighborhood called Brookhaven Estates. My driveway wasn't just a driveway, it was a private access road deeded to my property alone. Running 200 feet off the main street to my garage. I paid for its upkeep. I paid the property taxes on it. It was mine, on paper, in ink, notarized. I liked my mornings quiet. Coffee on the porch, no traffic, no noise. That's exactly why I bought the place. Then Karen Whitfield became HOA president. Karen had a laminated badge, a clipboard, and apparently the confidence of someone who believed HOA bylaws outranked the county deed office. And one Tuesday morning, I woke up to find orange traffic cones lining my private drive and a brand new sign staked into my lawn, official school bus stop. I hadn't approved anything. Nobody had asked me. I called the HOA office, and Karen picked up like she'd been expecting me. The old bus stop on Elm was too dangerous, she said. Your driveway has better sightlines. The board voted on it. The board voted to use my private property? I asked. It's for the children, Daniel. I'd think you'd want to help. That line, I'd think you'd want to help, became her signature move. Every overreach got wrapped in guilt like a bow on a bad gift. I told her, calmly, that she needed written permission from me before any bus could stop on my land, let alone kids gathering there every school morning. She laughed, actually laughed, and said the HOA had the authority because the road technically connected to community access easements from decades ago. That part stuck with me. Technically connected. She was fishing for a loophole she didn't fully understand herself. I hung up, walked outside, and stared at those cones for a long time. I didn't argue again that day. I started digging instead. What was actually buried in those old property records? I was about to find out. For the next 2 weeks, every school morning looked the same, a yellow bus idling at the mouth of my driveway, a cluster of kids and parents standing on my grass, and Karen personally supervising like she'd built the road herself. I sent a formal letter to the HOA board copying the property management company, requesting immediate removal of the bus stop from private land. No response. I called the school district's transportation office. They told me the stop had been approved by the neighborhood association as an authorized pickup point, and rerouting it back would take weeks of paperwork unless the HOA requested the change themselves. Convenient, Karen had made herself the only person who could undo what she'd done. Meanwhile, the safety issue I'd warned about was getting worse. Cars cutting through my driveway to avoid the bus line. No sidewalk. No shoulder. One morning, a delivery truck nearly clipped 2 kids standing exactly where my mailbox used to be before Karen had it temporarily relocated. I brought that near miss to the next HOA meeting. Karen shut it down in under 30 seconds. We're not relitigating the bus stop, Daniel, it's settled. Settled. As if my driveway had ever been up for a vote. That night I opened the folder I'd been quietly building for 2 weeks: deeds, easement language, county road records, and I finally found it. Buried in the original 1987 subdivision plat, there it was. My driveway wasn't a community access easement at all. It was a private ingress-egress easement. Granted exclusively to the owner of my parcel, with a specific clause I'd never had reason to read closely until now. Owner reserves the right to restrict, gate, or limit access to said private drive at owner's sole discretion, for any use not directly serving the owner's parcel. In plain English, I could legally close that road to anyone who wasn't me, my guests, or my mail carrier, including a school bus that had zero legal right to be there in the first place. Karen hadn't found a loophole. She'd built her entire bus stop on a document that didn't exist the way she thought it did. I sat with that for a minute, feeling something settle in my chest. Not anger anymore, just clarity. I wasn't going to yell. I wasn't going to argue at another meeting where she'd cut me off in 30 seconds. I was going to do something much quieter and much more permanent. I hired a real estate attorney the next morning and had her review the easement language. She confirmed it in 5 minutes. I had every legal right to install a gate. So that's what I did quietly, over one weekend, with a licensed contractor and a permit already filed with the county. No announcement, no confrontation. Just a simple electric gate at the entrance of my driveway, keyed to my property only. I also sent one certified letter to the HOA board, the property management company, and the school district transportation office informing all three that as of the following Monday, the private drive would no longer be accessible for bus pickup, per the recorded easement terms, and that continued use without my authorization would be treated as trespassing. I didn't send it to Karen personally. I let the board read it first. Sunday night, the gate went up, humming quietly into place at the end of my driveway. I stood there for a second, looking at it. Monday morning was going to be interesting. I just didn't know it would be this interesting. Monday, 7:10 a.m. The bus rounded the corner right on schedule and stopped dead at a closed gate, kids and parents bunched up on the sidewalk with nowhere to actually stand, because the bus stop Karen built had never included one. By 7:20, Karen was in my driveway banging on the gate intercom. "Daniel, what is this? You can't just block a school bus route. It's not a route," I said through the speaker. "It's my private easement. Check the certified letter I sent the board Friday." "This isn't over," she said. "I'm calling an emergency meeting tonight." She did, and I showed up. The community room was packed, parents, board members, even a rep from the school district who'd clearly been fielding angry calls all day. Karen opened with her usual line, "We're here because one homeowner decided to punish our children over a technicality." I stood up, laid the 1987 plat map on the projector and read the easement clause out loud, word for word. Silence. Then the school district rep spoke up. "If this was never a legally authorized stop, the district can't use it. Liability alone makes that a non-starter." He turned to Karen. "You told us the HOA had clear authority here." Karen's face went from red to pale in about 4 seconds. The board member sitting next to her leaned over and asked, quietly but audibly, "Karen, did you actually check the deed before you did any of this?" She hadn't. The district relocated the stop back to Elm Street within the week, the original spot, with an actual sidewalk and streetlight, the way it should have been from the start. Karen resigned as HOA president 2 months later, quietly, in an email nobody replied to. My driveway went back to being exactly what I bought it to be: quiet, private, mine. The gate still hums open every time I pull in, a small, satisfying reminder that paperwork beats a laminated badge every single time. Funny thing is, I never wanted a fight. I just wanted my morning coffee back. If there's one thing this whole mess taught me, it's this: HOA power isn't real power. It's borrowed power, and it evaporates the second someone actually reads the deed. HOA breakpoints, because sometimes the quietest people build the loudest wins.